it really depressed me this morning to hear so many strange things coming from the president regarding the Fed. And it isn't that I shouldn't expect this from politicians. And even though this president didn't start out a politician, he's certainly a quick study. And if flip-flopping is something wrong, then all politicians should be banned from existence, because flip-flopping, and the longer a politician's in the limelight, is just something they do. And if you don't believe me, just pick 5 or 6 of your favorite politicians that have been in the game more than a handful of years and just look at what their thoughts on immigration or a variety of issues, social issues, were 10 years ago versus where they are today. And there's tapes out, but it doesn't matter. Politicians change their mind, and it highly correlates to election cycles. But this president, with regard to the Fed, makes the least sense to me, because the beggar thy neighbor mentality that exists in the world to some extent today is nothing like it was in the 30s during the Depression, where every country would try to do just about anything to alleviate some of the issues that the Depression brought upon their domestic economy. At the same time, many of those policies hurt other countries, hence the term. But ultimately, the deal now with regard to currency manipulation, or whether policies of the big central banks is designed purely to help their domestic economy through better exporting, well, it's hard to prove. Is it something that's a prescription for their economy or a covert manipulation? And since it's hard to prove, maybe the best proof is always in the numbers. And if you look at the central banks that have really confirmed the notion that they believe that more is better, whether it's low interest rates, negative interest rates, policies to buy not only securities, not only government securities, but corporate securities, equities, ETFs. Ultimately, the countries doing the most seem to have numbers that don't particularly line up very well with the U.S. So it seems really incongruent to me that, putting the politics and the president aside, that the Federal Reserve on their own seems to be choosing to go down the same road as traveled by the likes of Japan, the ECB, the UK. You know, when I look at Switzerland, just to try to keep their currency in a relationship with the euro, not to have it get too strong, the things they've done, they now have negative interest rates from 2s all the way out to 30s, top to bottom. This isn't good. And we could argue there's a lot of research papers being done to confirm negative interest rates aren't the bane of the financial system. But they're writing these papers to try to convince us of our lying eyes taking in false details. In the end, we're the best for one reason: sound policies. The president should let the Fed try to implement them, and the Fed shouldn't follow the leader with countries that aren't leading.